Hello everyone and welcome back to More Than Commas. I'm Paul Adams and this is the third and final part in our series that's unpacking one of the most bold philosophical arguments for money you've ever heard. And in our last episode, I read Francisco d'Ancona's money speech from Atlas Shrugged by Ayn Rand. And today, we're going to debrief what it means for you, for your heirs, and for the legacy of your financial life that you're already building. When you listen to the money speech, one thing becomes crystal clear. Money isn't evil, it's earned, and it reflects who you are. In that speech, Francisco says, "Let me give you a tip on a clue to men's characters. The man who damns money has obtained it dishonorably. The man who respects it has earned it." Now, Francisco d'Ancona meant that as a critique of others, like heirs, moochers, and looters. But I think we need to turn that mirror back on ourselves. Because if you earn $500,000 a year but don't save it, you don't protect it, and you don't steward it, maybe you weren't ready to have it. Now, that may sound harsh, but let's frame it with grace and clarity. See, earning money is only the first step toward financial maturity. Protecting it is step 2, and investing it is step 3. Then transferring it is like the final exam. When you build wealth but don't secure it, you may be unintentionally signaling that you haven't learned to respect it, not because you're ungrateful, but because you haven't been taught how. Let's talk about retirement, not as a distant dream, but as a reality we're all walking toward. You see, you won't always be able to add value to the market. Your health may shift, your world may change, or you may simply want to dedicate your energy toward other things like family, ministry, mentorship, or just rest. It's about setting aside the value you created when you could, so that those dollars can keep representing your work and your human capital and that value even when you're no longer working. You see, money continues to be a magnifier in retirement, but only if you preserve it while your human capital was at its peak. Now, here's what it really means. Every dollar that you save is a dollar that's saying, I respect the contribution that I've made to the marketplace. Every account protected is like a hedge against regret, and every life insurance policy or disability plan is like a quiet statement. And that statement is, I love my family enough to prepare for their future, even if I'm not there for it. You see, if you've built income but not savings, you haven't fully converted your human capital into financial capital. And eventually, one of those, the human capital, always runs out.
This episode is brought to you by Sound Financial Group. At Sound Financial, we specialize in helping clients build strong, long-term financial strategies for their retirement. If you're looking for personalized advice to help manage your wealth, visit us at sfgway.com to learn more about how we can help you achieve your goals.
Now, legacy isn't optional, but the quality of that legacy is optional. If we go back to the speech, Francisco says, money will not serve the mind that cannot match it. Is this the reason why you call it evil? Now, that line stings. Because it isn't just about spoiled heirs, it's about us. It's about the executive who earns $500,000 a year but lives paycheck to paycheck. It's about the physician who maxes out lifestyle, ignores the insurance, and leaves their family exposed. If money won't serve the mind that can't match it, then it won't serve the family of the person that failed to protect it either. That's why estate planning matters. It's not just about taxes, it's about meaning. Who gets the money? Why do they get it? What values does that transfer communicate? And does your plan show wisdom or just wealth? You see, every dollar you leave behind is going to be interpreted. And if you haven't framed that story, man, I'm sorry to tell you this, but somebody else will. Legacy isn't optional, only quality is. Protection is the unspoken requirement of honor. Think about it this way. If you make $500,000 a year and you pass away tomorrow, what capital has your family lost? they've lost the future value of all of your life's human capital. But if you have a strategy in place, whether that's life insurance, asset protection, or a deep reserve of savings, what they gain is not just money. They gain dignity. They gain space to grieve without panic, and they gain stability. We honor our families not just by providing, but by preserving. So what do you do with all this? If money's a magnifier, then your system, savings, protection, estate plan should be designed to reflect your values, amplify your integrity, and extend your stewardship beyond your lifetime. See, otherwise, the very wealth you worked so hard to create can actually become a thing that damages those you love. Now, that's not a fear tactic. That's just us wanting to point out the reality because we'd much rather bring you a message you didn't want to hear than have you in a future situation you didn't want to be in. If this 3-part series has challenged how you think about money, good, that's the point. Share this with somebody who's earning but maybe hasn't paused to reflect on what their wealth is really building, or they might just enjoy the speech. Subscribe to More Than Commas, leave us a comment below, tell us what you think, and visit sfgway.com to schedule your philosophy conversation. And then I just want you to ask yourself today, am I protecting what my family and I have built? Am I saving and setting away enough capital that honors what I'm currently doing and my future? And am I planning for a legacy I'd be proud of, even if I'm not here to see it? All right, thanks for joining me. I'm Paul Adams, and this is More Than Commas. Money may not be everything, but it does reflect everything we prioritize. Protect what you've earned, preserve what you've built, and pass it on with wisdom. That's it for this episode. Now go back to living a great life.